But there were particular incidences that I recall that involved, I guess you could say, envisioning myself at some future tense where I knew that I was me, or it was looking at me, or it was me in the future, but yet able to navigate it in much the same way that you can navigate a real time, like, what am I going to do now? I'm going to reach out and grab this water. I'm going to drink it. But yet I knew that it was somehow intuitively, I knew that it was in the future. The most particular experience that I can remember was, of course, the energy language is the project that I've been working on for over a decade. It involves literally the transformation of thought into a new realm by means of an actively engineered language system. And over the last decade or so, it's had all sorts of different peripheral things that have popped up, like, wow, it could be used for a tool for the teaching and learning of languages. It can be used for differently abled kids to develop more adequate or more kind of, I guess you could say, better skills to like deal with the world around them. It could be used as a musical instrument for artists. It could be used as a translation device. It could be used to archive moribund languages or extinct languages. It has all these different peripheral relationships. But a long time ago, when I first started thinking about it, I was like, wow, it'd be great at some point in the future to have a big energy language park, essentially like in some, it probably wouldn't be able to be anywhere around here with rents what they are these days. But perhaps in some plain and some, in Western Europe or, upstate or something. And in this park, the nature of different forms of energy could be explored by people of all ages. It would be kind of like, imagine like a mix between a science center and a kind of like a convention hall, where there would be movies shown and wind generators and hydroelectric facilities, all kind of on a very small scale, just so that the basic natures of energy could be looked at, whether like how we breathe or how we operate motor vehicles, or hopefully in the future, there'll just be a little component of like the car museum where we actually are not driving cars anymore, but who knows? But I had the idea a long time ago, and of course made some really crude diagrams of like what it might look like. It's in this massive kind of a symbol that more or less mirrors the energy language diagram itself, with some hillocks and some wind towers and pools of water and so forth. And I remember thinking, wow, it'd be great if I had a couple extra $1 million kicking around to be able to donate this to humankind, to be able to have people come up there and like be studying different components of energy. Because I mean, if you look at it, energy is really the common ingredient of all existence, whether here or elsewhere in different planets or different portions of the universe. And as a universal ingredient, it's also kind of the basic fabric of consciousness and of the ability to empathize or to translate things between one tongue and the other. So with all that said, at some point in the ayahuasca session, I suddenly found myself wandering around this elaborate, beautiful, tranquil, yet very kind of educational and informative park as an old man. And I was kind of like, ended up looking around, and I knew intuitively that this was something that I had created. And I knew intuitively that this was something that was a version of reality that had yet to kind of get nudged into possibility through a lot of hard work and trying to share basic ideas with as many people as possible. But there were still elements of it that were very surprising. It was almost as though things were being revealed to me about the nature of my own creation, because, of course, I had yet to figure it out. So it had this very, not disturbing at all, but very kind of revelatory taste to it, in that, like, wow, like, I wonder when they figured out the technology to do that, like looking at different weird little waterfalls and like wave generators and things that would be just basically archiving all of humankind's various ways to extract energy from the world around us and make use of it for our normal day-to-day pursuits.